Look at all the shit in front of you, my nigga. You still waiting on that alarm or what?
This is how we chill from 93
I went on a bit of a tear yesterday because we watched a movie last night called. Have you ever seen The Frozen Ground? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's got Nick Cage in it, right?
Yeah.
And he plays a cop who investigates, based on true events, investigates this serial killer called, what's his name, James Henson, I think it was, who killed 17 people from 1969 to 1983 in Alaska, in America. And the...
Sorry, I just thought of something real fucked up. Yeah, well, I'm going to come back to
We'd go back to it, okay, cool. But we were watching it, and then one of the victims is a prostitute, right? She's like 17, 18 years old, and her pimp is 50 Cent in the movie. And so like it's so fucking random because it's based on all these true events, and it's like a real thing. It's like real serious, and Nick Cage is like a real brooding kind of dude. And then all of a sudden, like about 45 minutes in, 50 comes on screen with like this like straight black like long hair like down to his fucking shoulders, and she just looks like he's
got like chemical straight.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like, it kind of, I couldn't help but laugh. It's such a serious film. It took me out of it a little bit, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then I went on a little bit of a hip hop tear today. I was like, oh, we should do a hip hop song. And,
right.
So initially I was like, oh, I should do a 50 Cent song, and then I realised I don't like any of these songs.
You don't like any of these?
I do like some of his music.
Right, okay.
But the odd tune. You know, Hate It or Love It's a dope tune.
Yeah.
There's a couple of good ones.
Many Men.
Many Men's good.
In the Club is a classic.
It is a classic. Candy Shop's fun. There's a couple of good ones in there, you know. 21 Questions is okay. There's a couple of good ones, but yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to drop one tonight.
Right.
But yeah, I could have done. I went on a bit of a tear, and I was like, okay, cool. Listen to that. I listened to what else? I listened to heaps of Nathan today.
Good.
And I realised as well. This is another fucked up thing. A lot of the original stuff that we love, you know, hip hop wise, so many of those artists are gone, man. Like, they're dead. Like Biggie, Puff, Nate Dogg, you know,
Five Dog.
They're all fucking gone. Like a lot of them, and a lot of them would only be in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s. You know what I mean? Such a shame.
Yeah, dude.
And I just figured, I don't know, like this is a different. Like this is made 3 or 4 years ago. So
Big Al, Big Pun.
Dude, there's so many.
Do you reckon that's going to be the same moving forwards, or do you reckon that was like the product of an era?
Do you want to kill that?
Yeah, sure. We get the drift, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
do you reckon? Do you reckon that'll be the same moving forwards, or do you reckon
not at all?
Like those deaths and that like reality of hip hop was from like a particular time frame?
You nailed it. You answered your own question. Yeah, it's because of like that shit from the 90s. That was gang culture. So like a lot of the people, these rappers that came up, they started as drug dealers, gangbangers, and all this stuff to survive, and then they became rappers, and so they have this mentality of like reputation and violence, and it's a thing that they actually lived with. And then in modern times now, like that still exists, obviously, and you have rappers, a minuscule amount that I feel come from that kind of place. But the notion of, I'm going to get a gun and shoot another rapper that I don't like, people don't deal with that anymore. Like, like you look at it, how many people do you see dying in knife fights?
No, you know, that's why, and it's not something I've ever thought about, but I only just was like, oh shit. Yeah, sorry.
They were gang members first and rappers second. That was their MO.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. I just you don't realize how much of the original rap and hip hop beats that are still timeless today. But those artists are, you know, almost few and far between. You know, particularly those you know, those kind of Black American artists. A lot of the time can be like not forgotten about because their music lives on. But it's just a bit sad, isn't it?
Dude, it's very sad.
A lot of them are not here anymore.
Yeah. Well, the thing, like...
One of my favourites, anyway. Our favourites.
Dude, Park is a big one because that guy had mad potential to make really big social change for the black community in America. Like, that's what he was really pushing for. He had a perfect platform to do that. I don't think a lot of rappers really use that platform for good in that particular way. To the extent that he tried to, you know, and he was only 25 or 6 when he died, and like imagine he could have been like another Malcolm X or a fucking something, you know, in his later years with his pull and power, and it's like it's sad to never know what he could have achieved.
And that kind of like reputation has almost outlived him. You know, like that. It's such a huge shadow that he's left, and people still worship his music and whatnot. And people that weren't even alive when he died are now listening to that. So it's obviously connected to that extent. Sucks that he's not here, but it's. I guess that's the other thing as well, man. Like, you know, you hear like about record sales and about how commercially artists that are, is it posthumously? Posthumously. You know, some of them outsell their original stuff when they actually passed away.
But that's pretty true of most creative forms. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a visual artist or a musician or whatever the fuck.
No, true. It's happened across different.
If you die, I guarantee there's going to be a huge spike in sales. And unfortunately, like, record companies
What do you think that is?
Bad example.
I think it's a bit of nostalgia. People want to relive, like...
It's also rarity. It's like, especially if it's a painting, it's like that artist is never going to make another painting again.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to snap this up.
It's rare.
If it's rare, it's worth money for whatever reason. Comes back to what we were talking about a few weeks ago. If something's rare, we assign worth to it.
It's all scarcity, isn't it?
Yeah. But you always see like record companies release unreleased music like 6 months after or a year after an artist has passed away, because they fucking know that buying mentality is huge.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Tapping into a market.
Two things I want to say. One that's going to lead on to that, but I need to zip back to the other thing before I forget, right? You know, you were talking about that movie about the serial killer. That's based on a true thing.
Frozen Ground, yeah.
Frozen Ground, okay. And you said that this guy had killed 17 people, yeah?
It was more, but they found 17 bodies.
17, right? And now, I know that you don't like the volume on a TV to be left at an odd number, right? So, do you think... I wonder if that, like, the serial killer had OCD, and just before he got caught, he was like, I just needed one more!
Yeah,
like,
fucking oath, man. Like, find one more. I would have led the cops to my 18.
Yeah.
Like, I would have... And he was doing that. So why didn't they just keep searching?
Yeah.
You know, it happened 30 fucking years ago.
Well, just make it up. Be like, there's one more.
Round it up, mate.
We might find it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, don't even dare stop on 17. It's disgusting. And then what allowed me to sleep that night was the fact that they said 17. Oh, yeah, he's killed 17 people. Yada yada yada. And then in the post credits, they're like, but it could have been up to 30. And my heart was just like. You know, it was just like such a relief. All this tension just went out of my body.
You're a sociopath.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, very strong. But that's okay.
What was the second thing?
The second thing, when you're talking about the record companies releasing music after they die, right?
Yeah.
So Park was renowned for recording multiple tracks in a day session, where most artists would record one song, then blaze up or fucking do whatever and party and enjoy the music they made for that day. He would record like 4 or 5 songs in a day, all bangers, you know. And he, I don't know if it's something like 4 full albums came out after he died of material that he made. Like, did you know that?
No.
I knew a lot of it. I didn't know it was that much. But
it's about 4 full
really?
fucking albums, and they're all top sellers as well.
Yeah. So it must be in their contract to be like, that you have, as a record company label, the right to release all my music when and if you choose to do so.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether I'm, walking
those
around.
contractual obligations would extend past whether he's dead or alive. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, All Eyes on Me was one that was released like post him dying, I'm pretty sure, which is a whole collection of different tunes. And there was obviously others as well, but so many songs, man, that people discovered post him dying.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Weird shit. Celebrities. I don't know, you boys big fans of Anthony Bourdain?
Oh yeah. He passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's right.
Such a...
Speaking of death, not to start on a positive note. Right. Happy puppies.
I'd never seen anything that he'd done before.
I've seen his cooking show.
Dude was a legend.
I learned who he was and what he did.
Yeah.
I've seen his show, his cooking
man.
show, like when he travels around and stuff. Anthony Bourdain's.
He did a few like No Reservations,
Might have been.
Without Borders or something. He was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, just the epitome of cool. Didn't give a fuck, said what he wanted, did what he did. He just sort of gave off that vibe of that, like, sort of rebel chef, like, just, a bit of a loose cannon.
Tell me if I'm wrong here, but he always gave off the impression that he was really... Obviously, it sounded like he didn't really give a fuck, which is good in a sense, but he always gave off this kind of dry...
Very dry
persona.
sense of humour.
That he was kind of that, I don't know, really, really dour kind of person, a little bit.
What's that
Never
mean?
really mean.
Dour. He felt like he wasn't like super happy and energetic.
He was jaded?
He was
maybe a little bit.
Kind of jaded, like, but his humour was very dry, sardonic, like out the corner of the mouth. Bit of very tongue in cheek, just sort of real smart ass.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about him would he would just travel the world and go to these crazy places and throw himself into situations and like be really open to new experiences and meeting people and new foods and stuff like that.
Was he because he killed himself? Yeah.
Yeah, it was suicide.
Yeah. So what I was getting at with that was did he have a long case of depression or with
I don't know. I don't know anything about his personal life.
Interesting.
So what I read in one of the articles, because I wanted to find out why he might have killed himself or the information behind how and all that stuff, and I like knowing that shit when that happens, But it said, well, I think a lot of people are interested in that sort of shit, But yeah, as a footnote at the end of the article, it said that his entire life, and he was very vocal about it, he battled with mental issues, things like depression and all that shit.
Yep.
He had a heroin addiction and a crack addiction at one point. I think
like
it's set. Yeah, like he was into gear, which
but that fits with his persona because he really had that character of like very rough around the edges, very real person. Like he was just a guy. He wasn't a polished TV presenter.
Yeah,
right.
And that's what was so magnetic about him on screen. But he was just kind of inspiring. Like I was like, fuck. Every time I'd watch his show, I was like, fuck, I love travelling. Fuck, I want to travel. Fuck, that's what I want to do.
He's got a pretty good gig, hey? Like travelling around, talking about food as a chef.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, what's that saying? Like, if you don't feel like it's work, you never. What is it? You never
work a day in your life.
If you love what you do,
you love what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He had that dream, didn't he? Like, he was just, doing what he loved. Obviously,
that just goes to show, like, depression's no joke.
No.
Fucking hell. If you seemingly got it all to so many people, and you still, end up in that situation.
He obviously felt like there was a void in his life that he couldn't fill.
Who knows what was going through his head, man? But
which
pretty
is
sad.
Anthony Cocaine Bourdain. Love it.
Nice.
Look, maybe that might have saved it.
Nice.
It might have saved it. Have a line, man.
The thing was that the week before that, this chick was like she ran a handbag company. Did you read about this chick? She was like 54.
Oh, the designer.
Yeah. She hung herself as well, and it was just like same sort of setup. She had everything.
She's really famous. Kate, someone?
Yeah.
Tara. Kate? I don't know who it is.
Okay.
I
never heard of her before until
exactly. But it's the same thing, like billions of dollars and huge empire of all this stuff, wealthy friends, blah, 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 celebrity, all this shit, running all these cool circles, and you would think that would make a person happy to a degree. And yet she's fucking necked herself at 50-something in a hotel room.
Do you reckon part of that is like you reach a point where you stare into the abyss? It's like when you're in our sort of socioeconomic bracket, there's always somewhere up to go. So you're always like trying to, and then if you reach the top, it's like, now what? And so that might be a little bit like existentially could fuck with you a bit.
100%.
Yeah.
I reckon that would have a part to play.
But also, like, it's unattainable, a lot of the stuff, like, because we've got access to any information. Yet, the happiest people, like that doco, Happy, right? Some of the happiest people in the world,
they've got fuck all.
They've got fuck all.
Did you watch that doco?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I've seen smidgens of it, but I haven't seen all of it.
It's so good, man. It makes you happy just watching it.
Yeah, it just gives perspective.
You hope so.
Because it's true. But it gives perspective because these people, they don't really know necessarily what's out there. They don't have that material sense of attachment to things.
Yeah.
So they can't get disappointed that they're not making 400 grand a year, they're making 200 grand a year. It's like, no, they're happy that they've got food on the table and the sun's out. That's a win.
But they do talk about there's like that invisible line where it's like the difference in your happiness between earning $0 to 50 grand is huge.
Is correct.
But then from 50 grand to it's like very slight, and then it just drops off a cliff, like it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's interesting.
That whole, and I always because they're bringing a doco out. I think it's a doco about Robin Williams' life.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I hadn't heard that they were doing that.
Yes,
mentioned it
so they're bringing it out, and it's more like a profile of obviously the man and who he was, but who he was on screen and who he was off screen.
Yeah,
completely different.
Of course,
things, obviously, had all of these issues going on and battled depression for years and whatnot. Yet was such a vivacious, happy-go-lucky guy on screen and just a wonderful comedian.
Oh, he was the ultimate and life force. Robin Williams. You watch footage of him and he's just bang.
And that I don't know, that the difference in human behaviour is just fascinating. To find, and sad as well because obviously of what happened. But like that just really goes to show you can have or seemingly have everything, yet be in a position to take your own life. What a tragedy that was as well.
But his one was slightly different. Like he had serious health issues towards the end. He was losing his mind. He was losing his ability to do.
Is that a
comedy?
thing? I haven't read much on
it was. Yeah,
but I've heard a couple of people say he was having actual degenerative diseases or like Parkinson's or something.
I don't know if it was like that. It was something
like a motor neuron.
That's the right word for it. Yeah. So he like his whole thing, like what would bring him joy, I imagine, is making other people laugh, giving other people joy, right? And then when you lose the ability to do that as quickly and as efficiently as you want, what have you got to live for?
You go into the dollars,
and I imagine that he was probably sitting and going, well, I don't want to be a fucking vegetable in a year or two. Like I don't want to be a recluse.
I want to be remembered before what I am.
Exactly, So I do the fucking same thing. Like
the weird thing is, I saw Billy Connolly live. Must have been 3 years ago, 2 years ago maybe, and it was close to when he'd come out and said, "I have Parkinson's."
Yeah.
And he talked about it on stage, and he was someone that I've been wanting to see ever since I was like 8 years old.
Yep.
And it was weird seeing him on stage because he would talk about it and he said it was really isolated to, so far, his left arm.
As you stroke your left arm.
And you could see it creep up during the stage. Like he had no control of it during the show. And then he would sort of stop and make a joke about it and like put it back down. But his left arm would just like creep up. And it was kind of funny, but at the same time I was like, fuck, this guy is just losing control of his body.
Yeah.
On film.
It's so weird. Like he's just, but Billy Connolly was just cracking.
Just made it work.
You have to.
It was funny.
Strong hand.
Basically.
Literally. It was literally.
Oh fuck, dude.
Speaking of, that actually rolls into this beer.
Oh yes. Okay, here we go.
So tonight.
Michael J. Fox. Okay. This is a really crude episode already.
Tonight we're drinking a beer called Social Beast. It's actually Melbourne brewed, and it's, as you can see, pale ale, quite tropical. It's nice to drink, but on the can it says Beer versus Beast. Go to our website and check out how you're helping to take on the beast that is motor neuron disease just by drinking this beer. Now, I did go on the website, and I do want to give a shout out because this beer is doing some really good shit. So basically it says, we're all about goodness, and that starts with beer. Good beer sits at the core of everything we do, and good things flow from there. This all started with a group of beer-loving mates and a dream to start our own brewery. The catalyst to turn our dream into a reality came when we were inspired by a mate suffering from and raising funds for the beast of a disease, motor neuron disease, or MND. We'd already had the conversation, imagine if every beer could do a little good for the world, so we decided we should combine our love with beer with our philanthropic ideals and support our mate in his quest to find a cure. So to kick things off, they basically brought out a first beer, and then they went to 50 pubs around Melbourne and basically tried to create like a happy hour that was for charity. And they raised all this money. It was a huge success. And so now every beer they sell is basically like a donation to this foundation. Cool. I thought it was a really cool little story of like some mates who'd done something really good for a close friend and been inspired to do some good in the world. And it's taken off, and now they're doing really good shit. Obviously with the Ice Bucket Challenge, and it's something that's been really had a lot of airtime the last few years, which is a good thing.
Well, I never knew much about the disease itself. I still really don't. But I mean, since it's been profiled really, really heavily by Neil Danaher and obviously the footy community, it's pretty crazy, man. Like his goal, I read this the other day, was to raise $200,000 for MND. This is a high-profile Essendon player.
Yeah.
Who we know him. Anyway, so he suffered from it for 4 years, and the average lifespan is 27 months.
Really?
With MND.
Yeah.
And he's been around he's lived with it for about 4.5 years. Still talking, mind you, he's obviously struggling a lot with it. But his initial goal was to raise 200 grand, and I read yesterday that they've raised just over, by the end of tomorrow, because it's the footy game tomorrow and big publicity, they will have raised just over 30 million.
No shit! Wow.
It's massive.
Fucking
man.
A.
And that's a feather in his cap, man.
It's a lot of money for research.
That's fuck tons of money, man. Like you'd think that, I mean, I don't know how much money is enough to try and find a cure or really to make leaps in this space, but surely that does a lot. I mean, that's
definitely
that's a big avalanche of cash,
It goes to show what you can do if you have a platform.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have a platform, and obviously he's beloved anyway, like he's got that sort of that basis to work off.
Yeah.
But fuck, like just try. Do some good in the world.
Do some
like,
shit.
Do some good.
Absolutely.
Even if it's a small thing, you never know how large it could become.
Yeah.
So I thought
that's cool.
Given the match tomorrow, I thought it was good.
I don't mind
little shout out to a beer doing some good.
Is it any good?
Yeah. It's
nice
alright
actually.
It's alright.
Okay. It's quite fruity. It's more of a summer beer. So tropical flavours.
And nice and local too.
And local.
Keeping it local.
On the topic of beers, I tried a new beer on Thursday night. So I was at the pub before the gig, before Reggie Snow.
Yep.
And I'm like, can I get a pint of Carlton Draft, please? And the guy's like, mate, look, alright, I'm going to fucking recommend you a beer. It's just like Carlton Draft, but it's better. Okay, I'm like, alright, what's it called? He goes, Salt.
Salt.
Have one guess what that beer tastes like.
Salt?
The ocean. It's just
okay.
strictly the ocean. So not only does beer make you parched and like anti-thirsty all the time, this is double anti-thirsty. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever drank in my fucking life.
Okay, right.
Yeah. It was the worst.
And
I don't know, and it's on the tap there at this pub.
On the tap?
So,
it's on the tap. Yeah,
so where the fuck does this guy get off recommending it then?
I don't know, mate.
Maybe he just had to sell it. He's like, no one's buying this salty beer.
The keg's been full for 4 weeks. We're going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't salty, it's just an old beer.
It's a pipe from the ocean.
Stale keg.
I got a beer for you, mate.
It tasted like
that's horrible.
It was putrid,
Did you try the chocolate beer when you were in South America?
Yes.
Did you?
I did. I didn't like it from memory.
Yeah, I don't imagine it would be nice.
I didn't rate it. It was just, there's some things just don't go together.
Yeah.
And they're two things that don't.
Right.
Chocolate and beer. Nah.
You know that
I can't really.
Remember that old school
recommend it.
milk ad where it's like, hi, I'd like to get some milk, please, and she's like, extra dollop, extra cream,
Extra
double
dollop,
skim, blah blah. She lists all that shit.
Just want milk that tastes like real milk.
Right, that's how I feel about beers.
Yeah.
For the most part, like
fair enough.
With all the extra flavors and the this and the that, and trying to do too much, to achieve too many things. Like I'm a simple man with simple taste.
I get that completely. I think simplicity is important when it comes to beer. But there are some craft beers that are nice, and we've had this conversation briefly on the podcast. But you can definitely overdo it. Like I don't like a beer that's too sweet, man.
Well, of course,
that's just not on. And they can put all these fucking Millers with that lime shit that they put in. Just no. A beer tastes like beer.
I really got into actually. It's funny you were talking about salty beer in Central America and Mexico particularly.
Yeah.
They you rub the lemon around the edge of the beer and then you put salt around the beer. I really liked it because you only get a little salty at the start and then obviously it's gone by the time you're on your fourth sip.
And don't get me wrong, let me clarify that. So when it comes to like say a Corona or a Sol or something like a really light kind of summery beer,
we're doing it with
having like a little lime, that's cool. There's no problem at all because it just gives it a little kick. But actually infusing a fruit into a beer, just don't do that.
I looked at a couple tonight. They had like mango and pineapple, and I was like, no.
Where does it end?
Where does it end?
I did some market research like a couple of years ago on beer. We got paid to talk about beer. It was a wonderful job.
I remember you doing that.
Yeah, and they're like, we're thinking about doing like flavoured beers and different like experiments with infusing beer with berry and lime and orange and whatever. And out of the probably 12 cunts that were there, all of them were just like,
Just don't.
No deal.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, you know, if market research does its job, that would filter through. But then, you know, you go to a bottle shop now.
Man, there's a market for
Fucking
everything.
awesome,
Business.
you know. And I guess that's true. I mean, look, if you're someone that doesn't really like beer, and you like all the other sweet shit out there, then maybe a sweet beer is for you. I don't know.
Would you rather have
Just get a UDL,
Right,
just get a
that's
cruiser,
exactly
get
right.
fucking
There's
something
a
else.
category, there's a category for you.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone.
Exactly.
Just don't drink beer. It's fine.
Yeah.
No. Maybe it's just a simple resolution.
Right. Well, yeah.
You know what I hate is going to restaurants where they have a menu with like 12 pages and you've got to sort through like 50
Isn't that
options.
annoying?
Like, I was so glad we went for dumplings the other night, and Nolsey just ordered for the table, and I was like, thank God, because looking through and trying to decide, I have 20 billion things. I was like, no, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, you're
Got
at
a menu with
China,
3
yeah?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gold, that
good.
place,
It's
man.
so good, man.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
What's your favourite dumpling?
Steamed.
But inside?
Pork. Veggies.
Chili wontons, baby.
Chili wontons.
God, chili
Yeah,
wontons.
They're
are
fucking
amazing.
so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. Do you like the salt and pepper calamari?
Love it.
How good is that?
Mate?
How
Love it,
good
dude.
is that
Can't
dish?
get enough of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. This guy's got too much batter. I'm like, no.
It's too much better.
That's the fun
It
of
makes
it.
me feel
It's got the little spices, it's
That's what you
delicate.
want.
That's
That's
what you want.
want.
You want a bit of
It's
butter, you want a
food.
bit of buttery goodness.
But you mix it up. It's
delicate
like
stuff.
That's right.
you don't eat
That's
the
right.
whole plate in one go. You you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you come back to the
Correct.
fucking
That's right.
pepper
That's right.
squid. and-
Bit of crispiness.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
delicious. Yeah. It's good. It's good feed. And look, out of 4 people, $66.
For the whole thing.
So cheap,
That's
man.
great.
Cheapest food in Melbourne's the best.
Yeah, fucking A.
Amazing.
You should get the steamed bok choy next time you go.
Oh yeah.
Chinese broccoli. is
Chinese
my
broccoli.
boy.
Is amazing.
I love Chinese broccoli. I reckon
It's good.
I ate half that fucking plate. the
Oyster
other night.
sauce.
With oyster sauce.
It's a winner. It's definitely a winner.
should come back to it.
It's do you reckon they've I feel like that establishment has just gone from being I rocked up ages ago and walked in, it was easy, and there was a fucking line down the street. Like people have just flocked.
Yeah, dude, word of mouth, mate.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Does anyone even go to the other Shanghai joint anymore?
Shanghai Village.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
that's
was a
still
line there.
choppers. Yeah,
It's still choppers.
that's still
Okay.
busy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But people are
next
just. There's more cunts cruising around.
True.
There's more people. There's more people that want fucking good
That is true.
Asian food.
That
Yeah.
is very true.
Yeah. Well, I've done a few random places down that end of the city, like just walked in without, because it's every
Chinese
single
or-
plate. Well, it's all Asian stores. It's
Yeah.
all different, but
Yeah.
it's all in the same kind of section. And I've just walked in without any preconceived notions or looking up reviews, and a lot of the time it's garbage. Like
Really?
I reckon
Really?
half the times that I've walked into random places, it's been shit.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the decor of the one that I'm thinking of in particular was probably a dead giveaway. Like it looked really, really bad in there. Essentially like someone's house, you know, serving food, you know.
Was it someone's house?
It might have been, man. It might have been. And then like on the we went kind of late, but it was still like when you opened up the fucking menu, it's like, oh, I want this, and there's a huge big red X through it, just going not available, you know. And then it's like the next thing I wanted, not available, like and all the.
What didn't mum go to the fucking shops?
Right.
Yeah.
I always love going out the back of Shanghai, and if you go to the toilets, you've got to go. I feel like I'm going into the Matrix. You know, they open a door and it goes through to like a different fucking world.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It's so dingy and dirty
Oh,
and
and there's
derelict.
fucking 2 birthdays, like side by side.
Yeah,
So we went
one on this
upstairs,
side and one on
right?
that
You've been
side.
upstairs there before.
At Empress.
At Empress, yeah.
I didn't know they had an upstairs.
I have only been downstairs.
That was-
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
one
So they've got an upstairs.
Right.
Anyway, so upstairs, one huge table on the right, one huge table on the left, and we're like at this little table in the middle, right? That's fine, no issue. Like surrounded by people, I'm sure they're having a good time. It's Friday, whatever. Drink that, and then about an hour in, they start getting real rowdy, and they're like, "Oh, happy birthday!" I was like, "Okay, cool. We're in it. Like it's fine." And they overtook the whole room because it was so noisy.
Yeah.
And it's really like really small-ish in there. Anyway, so happy birthday to you. They get onto it.
That's not good.
And we're like, cool, no worries. We're nearly running out of
Battery.
That's right. Anyway, so they go and they do their song and they get real rowdy and they're like, hey, and they fucking clap and we're like, okay, cool, we'll get back to our conversation. And what would have been no more than 20 minutes later, max. These cunts are like, happy birthday on the left, and we're like,
left starts
right.
up.
So the left starts up. So we're in between this joyous birthday celebration times 2, and having no.
Trying to have a fucking chat.
We're trying to chat. Like, relax.
Are you honestly trying?
No, but there's
so grumpy.
Look at his face.
Tell me that be upset that they're enjoying their birthday. Like the place they made a reservation for.
Kids, man, they're like 21, uni students, having a good night.
Kids, they're adults.
Such an old man.
They're adults. But if I'm there at a restaurant and I see some pack of people do the happy birthday thing, we'll be like, we don't have to sing happy birthday because it cheapens it. It cheapens it. Don't you think it cheapens it?
If you sing it for them
afterwards.
No, afterwards. Like if they've already done it and they're like, they've done the happy birthday thing. We don't know.
I don't.
It's a different person with a different birthday. Of course you sing it again. Okay, alright. Okay, just a hypothetical situation. We're at a birthday. All our friends are there, right? And then there's another birthday going on over there.
Yeah. Cool.
They sing happy birthday, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say it's your birthday, and then you're gonna sit there and be like, that was good enough for me. I don't really need the song.
No,
my friends,
You misread what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's for them and it's okay. It's like everyone's together.
Okay.
I'd just be more like, well...
If you didn't sing me happy birthday because another table sang him happy birthday, I'd be livid.
Yeah, fuck you. Do you reckon the whole happy...
out of my birthday.
Do you reckon the whole happy birthday thing's a bit overdone? Like...
No! What do you mean?
I just don't think it's...
Is this like a Valentine?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like... Maybe it was just... I was just pissed off because I did it twice and we were just trying to have a chat. Anyway, but look, I just think that...
The whole birthday thing.
Yeah, look, no, singing a birthday. Like singing happy birthday in a public
It is a weird thing. When you objectively think about singing happy birthday,
isn't it?
It's a weird tradition.
I just think it's weird.
When was the last time everybody gathered around as a group and sang a song?
That's what I'm saying. I just think it's a bit strange.
A song. No music is on.
If we went
everybody
out,
sings a song.
It's rare.
Let me ask you this, right? If we went out for dinner and it was someone's birthday, would you automatically sing happy birthday?
Yeah,
like,
you do.
Yes. Yeah, always.
Normally if there's like a cake comes out or whatever.
Yeah. Have you been to a birthday, like out for dinner or just whatever, or where, out for dinner, let's just use that as an example, and not sung it?
Yes, definitely.
Cool.
See,
that's my point, right?
There's a limit in terms of people. In a group, it's great. One-on-one, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
one-on-one is great.
You're not going to go to someone like, happy birthday to sing at you.
Take over the room.
Say, even if it's like, is there a number? Okay, this is a can of worms. So is there a number of people where it's like, that's birthday song?
Right.
Or is it like more than 6? Or is it less than 5? What is it?
The smallest number that I remember singing with is with my immediate family and being out for dinner. And so that would have been my mum, my brother, my sister, myself, 4, and then maybe just us 4, but then potentially my mum's partner. So 5 people.
5 is doable.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 is doable.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would be the threshold, wouldn't it? I reckon about 5, 6.
It depends how drunk and rowdy you are as well.
That's true.
Yeah, if I was blind and I was out with 2 of my mates and I wanted to embarrass that person, I would sing happy birthday.
And these guys were blind. They were smashing glasses. Like,
of course you're gonna sing.
And maybe that's why I was a bit shitty. And I picked up the chick's card. Like she would have had a shit night if it wasn't for me. Her bank card. She dropped her card. She's like, walks in like this. And I'm like, she drops her card on the floor. The waiter just misses it completely. And I'm like, I'll do the right thing. So I picked it up and gave it to her. And she's like, oh, thanks. No worries.
Yeah,
just don't sing happy birthday anymore.
That happened to me the other day at the train station. Someone dropped their card, their credit card, and I was like, oh fuck, that's their credit card. Picked it up, chased him down, tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, oh sorry mate, is this yours? He turns around and he goes, yeah, and walks off.
Didn't say thank you.
And I was
no
like,
way.
Fucked.
Where's my fucking thank you?
Way.
Where's my relief? Like, oh thanks man.
Yeah.
Oh,
actually.
He turns around and he goes, yeah.
Oh that.
And I was like, are you right in the head?
What kind of person was he?
He looked like late 20s, just going to work. Normal guy.
Entitled?
No, he was getting on the train.
I know what type of person he was. Selfish cunt.
Yeah, sums it up. He had his headphones on, which maybe made a difference to his but still,
you would
give me a thank you.
You'd be thankful.
It's like people that don't wave in traffic.
Oh,
cunts.
Don't get off.
No.
They're out there. Slow walkers, all of them.
That's the beef of the week.
Slow walkers.
Don't fucking wave.
I wrote
people that don't wave about that.
Yeah.
I think I might have done a little thing for Eleanor and Abby about this ages ago, but it's worth a repeat.
Right.
Rude.
Do you want to get into it now?
What about
whatever?
a nod?
We're on the topic.
What about a nod? Does that count? What about
No, acknowledgement. It's all about
acknowledgement of any sort.
Any acknowledgement.
Any acknowledgement. Just do it.
Yeah.
Make sure if I let someone in on the road deliberately for them when I don't technically have to, and they don't acknowledge me, oh, it shits me.
But surely you've got a hierarchy. Like you've got the acknowledgement, and then you've got the hand in the middle, and then you've got out the window.
Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Where are your hands when you're driving?
I don't know.
On the fucking steering wheel, right?
They're usually.
How hard is it to go?
Yep.
That's literally
So
what
you look
do.
for the finger. That's
Anything.
just want the
That's what I do. I'm just like, cool, thanks, mate. Or whatever, you can nod your head. It's more work to nod your head, to be honest. Your fucking hand's already there, mate.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking...
Yeah, on hand off the
How's your
steering wheel
father?
all the time.
Thanks, mate. Enjoy your day.
Even a finger would be enough for me. If they just
Anything,
take
dude.
one digit off,
Anything.
I'd be accepting of that.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything at all. It just doesn't take any time or effort to do it at all. It doesn't take anything out of your day. It's just appreciating humanity for what it is.
I find that the people
Being
that
nice.
don't acknowledge always look like they're mad as well. They always look like a dick.
Yeah.
Like they're upset for some reason.
Yeah.
It's never like a really chirpy person that ignores you.
Not at all.
It's a cunt-looking person that ignores you.
Yep. And they're so engrossed with their own shit life that they can't... Come on, man. Like, just take the time out of your day just to be a little bit of a human about it. That's all it is. And it doesn't mean... Look, if you've stepped in dog shit half an hour ago, it doesn't mean that person, you treat them like dog shit.
100%.
It doesn't work,
100%.
man. It's not how the world works.
Look,
Anyway.
if my car was... Now that I think about it, if I had stepped in dog shit immediately before getting a car and my car smelled like dog shit, I might be a little more focused on not spewing in the car and I might not see you. Give me away.
That's okay. But if you haven't seen me, fine.
Right.
If you've seen and noticed that someone has let you in, you wave.
You can tell if they've noticed though by the way they're
I
driving.
know if you can.
You know if they've seen you.
Definitely.
I'm just trying to, put myself in their shoes,
Fuck them. Don't put yourself in their shoes. There's cunts and non-cunts, Yeah. Look.
There's cunts and non-cunts.
That's true, man.
That's
It's very simple, man. Which boat do you want to be in?
Welcome to no
The ones with the life jackets and the ones with no life jackets.
Fucking
Pricks. Anyway,
dogs.
Look, the safe thing for those people is just don't get a license.
Right.
Don't be on the road. It's not a place for you.
Get a push bike.
That's right.
Run them off.
Don't have to give away a push bike. That's right.
Get a push bike, mate.
That's right. Exactly. Get a push bike so I can run you over when you don't wave.
Okay. Before we were speaking of being sociopaths, made me remember when I was in when I was overseas. I had this morning. I woke up and I was just in it. You know when you wake up and you're just like, oh, fuck today. You just wake up in that mood and you're like, whatever. And another day.
I've woken up a couple of times like that. Yeah.
And I was walking down the street and this cyclist went past me and someone opened their car door and he went smack bang in the car door and went flying. And my immediate reaction was, at least it's not me just having a bad day.
Yeah.
At least it's someone else.
Right. You didn't laugh?
I did not laugh.
Right.
My immediate reaction was,
God.
it's not just me.
Yeah.
And it made me think like, am I a psychopath?
No, I've got a great...
No.
Like,
you're not.
Do you reckon there's a part in all of us that is like a bit...
Yeah. I think it depends on what's happened to you though. That's happened to me on a bike. So for me...
Really? Someone's opened
Yeah, well, no, it was different. Like, I was fanging it down Warrigal Road on the way to a chemist round. I was only 15 years old.
Yeah.
And this guy comes out of his driveway. And because I was going so quick, I didn't see it. It was like literally last second. So my bike's just gone, and I've just fucking flown over the bonnet and fucked myself completely. It wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't break a leg or anything like that. But anytime I see someone either get hit or a car door or something like that, I'm like, I just know, I can feel it. It takes me back to 15 years ago. Fucking a long time ago now. But yeah, not good. And I just feel bad for that person.
Right.
Yeah, no.
You were going to say something?
What you said, how you... I don't know if you took joy out of it, like...
I did not take joy.
Right. I wasn't like...
yeah, that was good.
The wrong word. But like, your day was shit, and then you saw someone else having a shit day, and it made you feel better about your shit day. Like, you're not alone, right?
Yeah.
Something really similar happened to me a little while ago. I was having one of those... happens, I don't know, every... year, maybe once a year, where I'll be sitting at home and I'm like, things are going well, I'm getting paid, I'm doing work, I'm doing projects and all that stuff, and I'm like, is it really working for you, Kerry? Like, are you really doing the right thing? Like, are you really going to go anywhere with this? Like, are you even any good at what you do, you know? And like this huge internal battle of like, is it going to be okay? Like, is your shit sucks, blah, blah, blah. No one really watches it. You've got fucking 49 subscribers. You're a piece of shit. And it's just like this going on and on in my head, right? And I hadn't done drugs the night before or anything like that. I wasn't coming down. Yeah. I just had a day where I felt really, really shit and I couldn't get out of my funk. And Michael, who, you know, not to downplay him, but he comes home sad. Well, not sad, but like in a shitty mood more than I'm in a shitty mood, right? So for him to come home and then see me in a shitty mood, he was like, this is fucking weird. So he just tried to cheer me up all afternoon with all this stuff. And I just sat like a fucking grumpy piece of shit inside all day. I didn't want to talk to him, I didn't do anything. I was just like, I couldn't figure out my life. And I'm like, I've got to at least go outside to go and get some food. Like, I'll go get Macca's.
Good idea.
Leave the house for a second.
That's a good idea.
And I'm in the car and I'm listening to music to try and cheer me up, and that's not working, right? And so I'm still feeling shit, and it's like late at night, I'm getting dinner, and I don't know if you know the Macca's that's down there on Racecourse Road, but there's like a car park that leads into their car park, and there's a little, it's like only wide enough for one car to go down, right? It's late at night, I got my headlights on, I'm feeling real shit, all my windows are open because it's warm, and I'm going down this section, and there's a fucking full cracked out junkie pushing a shopping trolley the other way towards me, and it's full of shit, right? And I'm high beaming him directly in his face. So I just stopped the car. And I'm just gonna see how this plays out. And this guy pushes his trolley literally within inches of the front of my car, and then looks up and he's like, oh, and he pushes the I need to remember exactly how it happened.
The trolley.
Pushes the trolley around to the side of my window, and he fucking leans in. He leans in and talks to me. He's like, "You don't have a spare $7 million, do you, mate?"
What a legend!
You don't have a spare $7 million, do you, mate? And I'm like, I don't even know how to deal with that at the best of times, you know. And so I can't. And then he like, before I can even answer, he's starting to push away, and I kind of lean out. I'm like, oh. And then I said, I wish I did, mate. I wish I did. I'd give you some. No, it's like, fuck. I said something. I'm like, I said, I wish I did. I wish I could help you or something like that. And then after he's heard my rebuttal, he's like, fuck. Well, you could have given me something, mate. And he's like, he throws like the cork of a wine bottle at my car, like at my car as he's walked past. And so I've just driven off, you know. I've just driven off and I'm about to go into the drop, and I'm like, at least I'm not that cunt. And then I'm like, at least I'm not that cunt! I'm like, I'm the best! I'm so good! I'm crushing life! And I just literally listed all the things that were going like positive in my life at that point. And it's bad, like I'm not trying to say like, I know
so funny.
That's great.
But it, like seeing it,
it's true though. Sometimes you need that hit of it could be fucking worse.
It could be so much worse. And it was like put me way back into retrospect. My life is very good.
I do. 100%. So good.
So fucking
it's
good.
It's just awareness and perspective, man.
Yeah.
Like that's all. That's what you had there.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Perked me up. I came home singing Macca's in my arm. Like, I put the TV on in the lounge room. I was like doing all this shit. I'm eating nuggets with stuff in my face. I was like, what's going on? And he's like, fuck, you've cheered up a lot. I was like, that's right. I told him the story. He's like, you are fucked, cunt. Are you getting another beer?
I'm getting another beer.
Can I get one
so
too as well?
Yeah.
I need to remember exactly what he said. You got a spare $7 million, mate? And I was like,
Were you short with him, or were you just like?
no, I was just trying to be honest. I was like, no, I don't. Sorry, like, I wish I had fucking $7 million.
Yeah. I would have just laughed at that. That's such a good call.
I wish I had it. And he goes, yeah, well, if you had it, you could give me one. That's what he said.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you had 7, you could at least give me 1. And then I had nothing to say, and then he threw the cork.
When he first asked, you should have had a rummage around. You changed your
Hold on, let me just pull it out.
Let me check the glove box, mate. Fucking hell. The cork bottle was the best.
Yeah, it's so
That's
funny.
amazing.
And look, he's not far away. It's a big car. He didn't even hit the car. Like, it just flew and then landed like on the side.
Fucking hell. That's funny, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, some weird shit, bro. Oh man, no, I'm not gonna say that on camera. It's just not.
Not kosher.
No, well, I went out with the boys last night. We were just getting up to some fucking mischief, man. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. It's too politically incorrect. Like, it's too bad. I'll just say it. Like, fuck it. I'll just say it,
man. Who cares?
I don't believe in any of this stuff. I'm not.
Just put a
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I don't even know why I did it or whatever happened. I was just like, I was drunk and I just did it, right? We're at Make It for Satan, okay? And I've gone off into Leopard. I don't know if you guys have been up there.
Yeah, the top level.
Yeah, right. But now that they box, it's so fucked, dude. It's like where you smoke now, you can't smoke everywhere upstairs. They put you in that side little bit. There's like a little side bit near the toilets.
Yep.
And you could only smoke in that one little section. And in that section, they have the heaters on 10,000%. So while you're in there, you
know where this is going.
Jesus.
That's exactly why I did it. Oh my god! No, I can't say it now. I can't say it. No, I'm not going to do it. We'll just move on.
That's alright.
Let's talk about.
We can connect that after the.
Let's talk about this thing.
We can connect the dots after the.
Let's talk about this thing that I saw in the news. Have you guys seen the movie Fargo?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Right.
You haven't seen Fargo?
It's so good, dude.
Have you seen the TV show?
I haven't seen any of it. I've heard it's sick.
Go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you haven't seen it. It's like
that's alright. Doesn't matter. I'll watch it.
It's a big reveal, and it's like a cool thing. It's not really a reveal, but it's a cool thing that happens in the movie that you would never expect. At the very end, with the snow, with a piece of machinery.
That's right.
So in the movie, right, these guys kill this dude, right, and how they're disposing of his body, and the cop finds them doing it. They're putting his body in a wood chipper, right? And when you see it, you're like, fuck, that's so brutal and gruesome, but it's so original. Like I've never seen it before, and anything. It's like an awesome scene. And like these motherfuckers got caught doing it to these people. They were like these three. It was like a woman and two blokes in Australia, like rural Australia, had murdered one of their neighbours and then tried to dispose of his body in a fucking wood chipper, and it didn't work. It didn't work properly. So when the paramedics and the cops and all that had to dismantle the machine and get the
dude, compared to wood, the human body's so hard.
Yeah.
Like bone and shit. There's no way it would get through that, realistically.
So what did they just put his body in?
Like it didn't say if they chopped it up or they just put him in all in one go, but they were trying to dispose of his body in a fucking wood chipper, and that's how they found this.
That's mental.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That is so mental.
What sickos, man? Like surely, I mean.
That's about to die as well.
If you did kill someone, how would you dispose of the body? Surely you'd get like a vat of acid or something.
If I was going to kill someone, how would I do it?
How would you dispose of the body?
It's really, it's hard. Like here being in I've thought about this a lot.
Same. Because after watching Sopranos, man, it's like you go out on a boat, dump it in the sea.
That's what
I would do. I would do that. Dump it in the ocean. How are they going to fucking find it? They can't find it.
Not in the bay. Like,
get a charter, get a captain.
But I think that for me, there's too many technicalities with getting a boat. For starters, you don't own a boat, right? So you need to hire a boat. Course, you need to there'd be records of you doing all that stuff and how courts work. It's not like you can just go. Like you need a swipe card to get into a lot of these places.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
All that stuff. That's why I wouldn't go the boat route. I would go the dump the body in the desert route. Or
in the desert, but then it gets found.
No, not the. I'm talking the. I'm not talking like the Grammy. Out like Red Desert, Australia. You know.
Okay. Not Wilson's prom.
Did you hear what? Not by the walking trail.
Mrs. Smith and like fucking 4-year-old. What's this, Johnny?
Did you hear what happened in Denmark with that inventor with the submarine?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've been like tracking that as it's gone.
Yeah. Well, because I was there when the court case started up.
Right.
And in Denmark, it was just kind of a running joke. Did you hear what happened? No. So basically, this guy who'd been sort of well known. Do you have a spare battery for that?
Yes.
So this inventor in I think the south of Denmark. He's basically been known for building like weird and wacky shit, like pretty eccentric. Yeah. And then he kept trying to. He built a homemade submarine. Yeah. And he kept trying to invite journalists on it, and like heaps of them said no, and then this female journalist, this woman, eventually ended up saying yes. Right. Long story short, she disappears.
Right.
Cops start investigating. They find her head in the bay. And then it's pretty obvious, like, well, she was with him and then she disappeared.
Yeah.
And then it's
Put two
like,
and two together.
yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to be fucking Sherlock. And so they went to him and he was like, he kept coming up with all these weird excuses of like how she died. And then they were like, you initially said that she fell overboard. He was like, she fell overboard. And then they were like, but that's the marks on her body, like she's being cut up, like she hasn't just broken apart in the whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, what I meant to say was that she, when she was on the submarine, she died of carbon monoxide poisoning. She got sealed off, I couldn't get her out, the carbon monoxide, she died. And then they were like, okay, but why'd you cut her up? Yeah. And he was like, oh, I couldn't get her out of the submarine. So instead of just like calling the cops and being like, hey, this woman's died on my submarine, I didn't do it, but I need your help. He cut her up and then they were like, okay, why'd you dump the pieces like in the ocean? And he's like, oh, I wanted to you know, I thought it would be easier for the family. And that became his, like, running excuse. Like, you know, it would be easier for them to find out that, like, yeah, it was so fucked up. Yeah. And, like, every 2 or 3 weeks, the prosecution would be like, all right, so that's your excuse, but what about this? And he'd be like, oh, yeah, no, that, what I said before, don't worry about that. What actually happened was blah, 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 blah. And he's just been sentenced to like life in prison or something.
Good argument.
It was just like, yeah, so retarded.
It was fucked up, man.
Oh, yeah. I cut her head off because I wanted to save her parents' feelings. Fucking psychopath.
So yeah, I feel better like that. I cut her head off and put it in the bay because it's easier for the family, and you know, it's like spreading ashes.
Yeah.
Except
I can
it's just
sleep better at night. You know?
I'm kind of the middleman, really. Save yourself the crematorium fund.
Yeah. Didn't want to get too many people involved. Thought it'd be easier. You know, let's just handle it directly.
You need a smaller coffin now, anyway. Like, you know, you just get a garbage bag, really.
That's right. You don't need to spend $5,000. One of those plastic bags from Woolies. Yeah, so I'd go. Okay, if I don't have a boat,
how'd you get rid of it?
I'd go bridge. See you later. Like shitty bridge, middle of nowhere.
Would you cut them up first?
No.
What, you throw them over?
Yeah, if it was deep enough.
Right.
Obviously the lake or the river or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'd just like chain a fucking weight.
A lake
weight
is
to
risky.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd chain something to the body and then just throw it overboard. So it went to the bottom of the...
You leave so much to chance, mate.
I know, but like where... I mean, desert... I guess the desert is a...
What about pigs?
Pigs?
Yeah. Very, very...
Get something to chew through it.
What's that movie?
Snatch.
Yeah.
Chew through bones like butter.
We're not psychos though. Like we're not. Like it's good to be prepared for these things.
I don't know though. If you review what we've been talking about on this episode, people getting hit. By
This episode's been a little bit. It's been a little bit dark. It's been a little bit. It started talking about death, and we're finishing with death. Finishing with death. Yeah. But that's okay. Look. We can talk about death while we're alive.
You're fine.
That's fine. Yeah, I reckon the acid route was like...
Acid's at full.
Where are you going to get...
But
that's the other thing. That's a
acid.
huge telltale sign, you know?
Go
Like,
to
Knowles,
Bunnings
you
and
work
buy
in
acid.
you sell solar panels and you
Yeah.
just ordered a cubic litre of
Sulfuric acid.
sulfuric acid. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, look, I just...
A bunch of plastic barrels and...
Well, look, if I've ever got, I don't know, rubbish that I want to get rid of that I feel I can't recycle, maybe I just pop it in the acid.
Melt it away.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that with rubbish?
Because I was going to ask the question.
That's a good.
What happens to the actual stuff? Like, because you can't just remove the matter. Like, when you put something in acid, it just doesn't go nowhere. It becomes something, you know.
It just disintegrates.
It
just like
vaporise.
It vaporizes, right?
Yeah.
So it's what I imagine is if you were to just put all the rubbish in a huge thing of acid, it would be like burning it essentially.
Essentially,
Yeah.
Would that create like that'd be terrible for the environment? Wouldn't
That's what I reckon. It'd
Yeah.
just be like putting more shit in the fucking ozone layer.
But would it be worse than having tips everywhere?
Probably.
It would?
Yeah, probably. Because they turn a lot of tips into...
Like biodegradable, renewable shit.
Yeah.
Making different products and whatnot.
All Nations Park. All Nations Park at Northcote was a tip at one point.
Yeah,
true.
I used to skate there, Northcote Skate Park.
Yeah. The kid got shot there.
Yeah, by the
Remember
cops.
that?
Yeah. I still remember Dylan...
By the cops?
Someone.
It's a 13-year-old kid, and they tried to tase him. He had a knife and didn't work, and then they gunned him down.
Well, don't run at the cops with a knife.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Probably a fair point.
I found a new YouTube channel that I watch quite frequently. It's called Police
Brutality or
something word. Anyway, and all it is, every single video is just body cam footage, unedited from different instances.
Yeah.
And it's like, it shows the cops doing the right thing, being in the right, and then the cops being in the wrong. And then, just, unbiased, here's the story written of what happened and why, blah, blah, blah. And then here's the footage to it. And some of it is so fucking awesome to see, like how much hectic shit they go through. But the one that's really recent, that's been all over the news, is this guy in Minnesota was just completely annihilated by these cops, like beat the shit out of by like 4 or 5 cops, and it's all on CCTV footage. So the first video that got put up, it's in an apartment block and they're standing outside an elevator. It's these 2 dudes, like 4 cops come up, and there's a CCTV camera in the corner, and the whole first video is like 26 minutes long and there's no sound, right?
So is it CCTV footage or body cam footage?
No, the first one is CCTV and it's really crystal clear. It's not laggy or anything. It's like HD and it's in colour. And I watched essentially all of that, and just from observing it with no sound, I'm like, that's still fucked up. Like, I've read...
What they do, just jump in and...
Well, the story was that there was, a call, a woman was scared, her boyfriend was coming to the house, she didn't want him to come in, she called the cops, right? And so they rock up with like 1 billion police officers, for this thing, and in the CCTV footage there's a skinny little white guy that sits down on one section, and then there's a black guy that they ask to sit down, and he leans up against the wall and half sits up against the wall, and they're like, sit down on the floor, and he's like, I'm sitting. I'm like, I'm leaning. Like, you're not sitting. And then rather than, sit there and have a conversation like that, they kick the shit out of him. Like, they throw punches, and like, he doesn't do anything. He just like lets it all happen. So there's 4 of them holding him. There's one black guy punching him. And then as he's not resisting, and they're putting him to the floor, the black guy puts him one final elbow, like literally elbows him in the face, and then they've got him on the ground. And then the video progresses where he's on the floor, he's in handcuffs, and then they get to the point where he's just in handcuffs, and they've got like knees in his neck and all this stuff and blah, 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 and then they tie his ankles. And then after that, they hog tie him. And then at the end, like after hog time, then they've wrapped a fucking thing around his mouth, and they have to carry him away, right? And so without any sound... I'm still going, that's fucked up. Like, what could he have possibly done to do all this sort of shit?
He must have said something.
And then the second video has come out, and it's the same video, but in the corners there's 2 different versions of body camera footage from different cops with sound for the entire incident. And the cops are fucked. This cunt is getting paid. Wow. So when they come up and they're like, sit in the corner. Like, first of all, they're like, we're gonna frisk you. We've been called here. Yep. Have you got any weapons? He's like, I've got a knife in my front pocket. And they're like, what are you doing here? And they go, my friend wanted to come back and get his backpack. I'm here to protect him because this is a bad neighborhood. And they're like, all right, go sit in the corner. And he's like, I don't want to sit in the corner. I'm like, just go sit in the corner. He's like, okay. And he goes over and he leans and he's like half sitting down. And they're like, sit on the floor right now. And he's like, I don't feel that I need to do that. And they're like, sit on the floor, and then they jump him, right? And then they jump him. And like, the thing that I've missed though is just before they like pounce him sort of thing, he sees the CCTV camera in the corner. And you see like a glint in this cunt's eye. Like, he knows that it's there. And so he plays the whole rest of the thing. Like, doesn't do anything.
That's so smart.
I feel wrong. So after they deck him and they drop him, he's lippy, right? He's like, he's talking about fucking, once again, this is happening again. I'm just a black man, all this shit. He's like, you guys are pussies. You guys are fucking pussy boys, is what he calls them all. And he's just talking. He's just talking. He's not really. And they put in the boot. They're doing all this stuff, blah blah blah. And they're like, stand up. And he's like, I can't stand up. You've tied my ankles and my wrists. How do I stand up? Like, we're gonna help you stand up. He's like, well, fucking help me stand up. And they're like, stand up. And they're like dragging him across the floor, right? And so they're taking him towards the elevator, and then this is another fucked up bit. So he's completely restrained by like 6 cops at this point. Yeah, he's got his arms tied and his ankles tied. He's got no weapons on him at all, and they're walking him towards the elevator, and he's having a conversation with this one particular white cop, and he's like, you're weak, you're a coward, you're all this stuff, you know. He's getting right in this guy's face, you know. And the cop's like, shut up, you motherfucker. And he's like saying all this shit to him and all this stuff, and he's like, you're a weak bitch. It's like, all of you fucking weak, you know. I'm not doing anything wrong, all this stuff. And he turns to he's just having a conversation with him, and he says one thing that just sparks the guy, right? And as soon as the elevator door opens up, he grabs his head and he smashes it into the elevator door, and he's like, bang! He's like, stop it! And then he starts saying, the cop is like, you think you can spit on me? You think you can try and spit on me? You're about to spit on me, weren't you? Oh, and then like to defend his actions, you know. And he's like, I was gonna spit on you, man. What do you think I'm gonna do? Spit on you? I'm fucking surrounded by police. What do you think I'm gonna do if I spit on you? You know. And he's just like, the whole thing is him just getting in these cunts' heads, you know. And by the end of it, they've hogged. It's a really fucked up thing to observe. Yeah. And
it's crazy that we live in an age where we can see that. Yeah, that is on point. Because 30 years ago, 100%. I guarantee that would have been going on
100%. All the time.
100%. But now we see it, and it still goes on.
Yeah,
it still happens.
Yeah. Imagine how like prevalent it would have been without the CCTV.
Oh yeah, I read an article in The Age today about the SAS in Afghanistan between like 2003 or whatever and 2015. Yep. And just how fucking rogue these cunts were. Like doing really bad shit. They're not going to put body cameras on the SAS. It's dark. Like, they're not going to want what they do
not at all
to get out. So from the SAS, and all they were talking how they broke it down into like 5 different things that was going on. And like the first one was they called it blooding, where they would get the new recruit to kill someone. They'd pressure them to kill someone to like
an innocent person.
Doesn't matter. To like blood them, to basically like bring them into the folds of the SAS. Yeah. And they would do it to unarmed prisoners so that they would have something to hold over them if they ever snitched on them. It's fucked. It's so fucked.
Wow.
It's so fucked. And they're just the culture in this like special forces is so twisted because they're also arrogant as well. They're like, we're the fucking special forces. We're the top of the top.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want. What are you going to do? Who's going to stop us? And they have this attitude of like, when shit needs to be done, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
But like, that's the mentality they carry into, and they're in a war zone for 10 years. 10 years into that, your mind is going to be fucked up.
And I understand that you're going to become amazingly desensitized to a lot of things, and your mentality's going to change. You're going to get cold. You're going to be removed mentally from a lot of things. I still don't think it excuses certain behaviours.
Absolutely not.
Particularly domestically.
It does not. Yeah. There's a difference between a reason and an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, that is a cause of that behaviour. Does not excuse it.
It comes back to what we were talking about the other week about there's a massive problem with authority, but also the fact that police are incentivised to do this sort of shit. Because they're incentivised by arrest numbers, they're incentivised by that 13 shit that we just already talked about. That's how it become a systemic problem. And it's not getting any better, man. Like, I don't know how bad it is here in Australia, but I can't imagine it would be close to being that bad. But no doubt, I mean, to kind of use, you know, the indigenous population as a kind of like a parallel in a way to Black America. It fucking still goes on here, man.
The Sudanese community is always going on.
And them too as well.
They
cop it. Any minority, man. All that bullshit on the Herald Sun fucking front page 2 weeks ago. Oh, there's a gang problem.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Yeah. You only need to look at the statistics to see that it's widely blown out of proportion. You know?
Of course it is, man. It's just this fear, like emblazoned fear. Fill people with fear. Yeah. So they fucking buy papers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Herald Sun's a fucking cancer, man.
It's just an advertising book.
Dude, in the midst of all that, this is when, what was the gang called? Apex Gang, right? This is when it was all over the news, real big at this point. I remember catching a train somewhere at one point, right? And I was catching a train somewhere, just the middle of the day, and a Sudanese kid, a black kid, came and sat down next to me. He was like young as fuck. I think he was like in his he was really, really young. He's like, 19, maybe early 20s or something, And I looked at him, and he's a black guy, and like, I don't really have that sort of like, oh my god, I'm afraid of the fucking black guy or whatever, I just looked at him and I looked at what he was carrying. He had like a big bag and all this shit and a basketball and all that stuff. Because I just look at people that are sitting near me. Well, what are they wearing? Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And he's seen me look at him and like look down and up at him. And I've just gone
Give
back
him
to...
down and up.
Right.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Right, and so I've just gone back to doing whatever I was doing, and this lovely fucking kid, what was his name, man? He was just started a conversation with me. He was like, hey man, what's your name? And I was like, oh, Kerry. And then we just started chatting about, and he was just, I could tell that he thought that I was afraid.
Really? Yeah, right.
And he was so positive and open, trying to quell like these...
What a crazy mentality.
Imagine these like stereotypes that were given about his culture.
That's really good.
And he was studying to do... He was like studying business, and he was going to play basketball with his mates, and he explained what was in his bag to me.
What?
Like,
Oh, shit.
We will never experience that. Like,
Never.
I will never have to worry about
No,
getting
no,
on a
no.
train late at night and someone being afraid of me. Ever.
And the flip side to that is, for every kid like that, there's probably another 5 or 6 that are too shy to even say anything.
Of course.
And are like in their bubble,
Yeah.
and it makes it maybe look worse. What are they hiding? All sort of shit because of the stereotype. That's out there.
Like,
It's
can
really
you
sad.
can you imagine how hard it would have been to be Afghani or Iraqi post September 11th?
Oh,
Dude.
2001 to... Imagine going to school.
Yeah.
would have been
And
so hard, man.
everyone knew you were
been
from
so hard.
Afghanistan or Iraq.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, it would have been
Just
fucked up, man.
taking that second look, like we'll never feel like that, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Who runs the world? White man. Who runs the world? All white men.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, like when in my primary school, one of my best mates, Havan, it was 3 brothers and a sister. It was Havan, Haman, and Hassan. I swear that's their names, you know. And then they had a sister. I can't remember what her name was.
Siobhan.
Lovely. They were from Iraq or Iran, right? I can't remember. I'm pretty. They were Iraqi. They were Iraqi, right?
Yeah.
Lovely people, like
course,
lovely, super cheerful people. Just worked hard, went to school, did everything proper. Never in my wildest dreams could I. You could never foresee how they would then be demonized, you know?
Yeah.
And like my perception of them wouldn't change, but it's like you've been forced
Because you knew them well enough that you would overshadow any sort of negative influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Like, it's sad how...
People group people.
Yeah, and like onus can be taken over your own life and an entire group of individuals against your will.
Yeah.
This multicultural, kind of, I don't know, flag that everyone flies. Oh, Australia, obviously everyone came here from different parts of the world and whatnot, but there's still that really kind of stench, isn't there? Like about that racism and that really segregation still there.
Yeah,
it still exists.
Yeah. Race in Australia has been a huge hot potato, like for 100 years. White Australia policy, segregation, and stolen generation, and all that sort of stuff. And everyone walks around now, it's like kumbaya, and it's like, yeah, great, and I agree that's where we should be aiming for and what we should be celebrating, but that doesn't mean we should ignore
what's happened.
Not
at all.
Did you ever watch on SBS? Did you ever see Go Back to Where You Came From?
Yes, I've seen that.
They did one for Indigenous Australia as well. Like they took the ex-leader of the first One Nation Party. I forget his name. Doesn't even matter. The guy's a cunt.
Oh, the fucking the big fat dude. Like
No. Anyway, they brought him along and a few other people, and it's pretty fucking eye-opening. Because like Northern Territory, like rural Northern Territory compared to Melbourne and Sydney is a different country. It's
different world. Yeah.
Totally different world.
Yeah.
It's wild. People doing very, very tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hate. Well, I'm glad that in a fucked up way that I'm a white dude. I mean,
Mate.
Well, it's just that we just don't have
politics.
we just don't have the worries and the stresses that other people have.
yeah, it's
Purely because of the colour of our skin.
yeah. I don't agree with
fucked.
it, but
It's the whole premise of that is fucked.
It's
But it's the
fortunate.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To an extent that we're probably not even aware of all of our privileges.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Like they would be so totally taken for granted, or not. We don't even. Yeah, we're not aware of them.
You know what? You know what's fucked as well is when you're in day-to-day life, it might be a servo or a shopping centre or whatnot, and you see someone look at a minority and they look at them differently, like as a bystander. You know, like when we're just doing normal shit like getting petrol or whatever. And you see the kind of the redneck tradie kind of guy, look or treat the person behind the counter because he's Indian, and you see them treated differently. Yeah, and it's like, come on, man. Yeah, like and you just want to tell that guy we're not all like that, right? 100%. You want him to realize that. Yeah, but it's really hard because we will never know how that feels for that person ever. But yeah, as a person that I'd like to think I have some empathy. Fuck, it's hard. You just want to grab him and go, hey, dude, it's not alright. It's not that fucked. It's not. We're not all like that. Yeah.
I think that I experienced when I got my hair cut recently, and this is like with the racism in Australia, is like everywhere is racist around the world. Like that's a fact. Every nation has a degree of racism in it. Yep. I think in order to make it better, it needs to be kind of out in the open a little bit more. Like people need to be. If you're going to be racist, what do you mean? Well,
you meant it needs to be highlighted more.
People that are racist or have racist tendencies don't ever say that they are. Like they'll never.
Of course.
They'll never. Like it's all hidden.
The most common sentence is "I'm not a racist, but."
Yeah, precisely. Let me. The story I'm going to tell might give you a little more understanding of what I'm trying to get at. Right. So when I was getting my hair cut, I'm sitting there getting my hair chopped, and then there was a dude on the far end cutting this really old guy's hair. He would have been in his 70s or something, right? And the guy who was the hairdresser had an accent, really strong, heavy accent. He's like, "What would you like today, sir?" And he goes, I just want fucking, real Aussie bloke, the old cunt. He's like, I just want one all around on the top, just like fucking cut it all real short, And he's like, you Australian, mate? And he's like, I live here. And he's like, no, but are you Australian, mate? And he's like, oh no, my family's from South Africa, but my mum's French and my dad was something. And he's like, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so tell me about your country then. Like you could and then he asked questions about Africa and all this stuff. Right. So that little interaction at the start was like I felt. He was kind of a little bit racist, but then he was just like, and then he just continued going, well, fucking explain to me a little bit about your life and shit, Yeah. So that guy clearly had a prejudice against this dude, I feel, and then he just went with that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Like he's kind of come from a place of ignorance,
right?
Because he doesn't really understand,
right?
But then he's open, I guess, to learning, Because otherwise he wouldn't have asked the question,
right?
Or do you feel that he would be a racist anyway, and it's just because he had to sit in the chair for the next 10 minutes?
Well, I don't know,
because that could be the case as well.
But even if he did, that is a great opportunity for him to be a captive audience.
That's right.
And to be exposed to something that might change his mind.
Right.
Even if he was like, fuck, I've got to sit here, so now I've got to be nice to this fucking fob or whatever his thought process was.
Yeah.
Then, that's a good opportunity for him to actually have some exposure.
100%.
Yeah.
Because what's the other exposure he's going to have? Channel 7 News, fucking Herald Sun,
right.
Apex Games, head front page. Yeah.
He's but he's
changing.
He is the stereotypical Aussie bogan dude.
That's exactly what it was.
So I guess if he's in a position where he's asking questions, then maybe there is hope for humanity.
Right. I think it's
going in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we're not out of the woods by any stretch. It's just more. No. It's just more the fact that people are asking some questions.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
I think I'd be very happy for someone to make some white racist jokes towards me. Like I think. They're
I want to know what they are. I want to know what
the stereotypes are. This is what I'm saying. Because there's a degree that there's humour in everything. I'm sorry, but there's humour in everything.
100%.
Taken in the right, done in the right way.
But that's the thing, man.
So
Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, these guys, they do it.
They do it.
They do it well.
Dave Chappelle.
They do it well. Patrice O'Neill. Have you ever heard of Patrice?
I know that. Yeah. What does he look like? Because I've
Now not
Yeah.
great. He's dead.
Right.
Been dead for a while. But
is he a black guy?
black guy,
Yeah.
big, fat.
Yeah.
Wear a hat sometimes. Yeah, was really good friends with like Bill Burr,
True.
all that sort of group of comics.
Yeah.
And was really like no holds barred. I'm going to talk about white people.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
That's good.
That's the shit I want to hear.
He's got some. There's heaps of stuff with him online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's worth watching. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The only stand up that I know where it's like Dave Chappelle talking about white people.
Yeah.
He's like white people don't like talking about their politics. It's like white people don't like talking about what they eat either. They're very special about what they eat. They don't tell you their diet or anything. But I know what you motherfuckers drink. I know what you drink. You drink juice, baby. You didn't think I knew about that. Juice, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice. See, black people, we have a different thing. We have drink. We have grape drink. We have apple drink. It's a different formula. There's no vitamins and nutrients in drink.
Just that sugary goodness.
And he has this whole bit about that. But like, even that's a tiny little thing, you know?
There's a little black kid in the back going, I want that purple stuff.
Yeah, that's the bit. That's the bit. He's like, you know, I don't smoke weed with black people anymore because all there was talk about their problems. Like, I smoke my weed to get away from my problems. I don't want to smoke my problems. Okay, I only smoke weed with white people. You know, because all white people do when they're high is talk about other times that they got high. Yeah. 2 shots of Jaeger, couple of beer bongs, fucking cheeseburger.
So good, man.
Yeah, I want to hear some more jokes about white people. Like,
What's his
and
name?
what we do.
Patrice O'Neill.
Leave him in the comments. If you're watching this
Alright,
and you
Patrice
know
O'Neill.
some funny jokes about white people, chuck
Absolutely.
them in the comments.
Type it.
Whack him in.
Below.
Yeah.
Wherever they are. Down there somewhere.
They're usually down the bottom.
Are they?
No.
Yeah. I have my screen upside down.
But muzzle culture, another thing, right? That we talked, right? Speaking of Friday night.
We were talking about that
So,
on Friday night.
like, I had a little bit of a read of the famous Ziz today.
Oh, Ziz.
Well, what do you mean you had to read?
I had a read of his profile and what it was all about.
Is
how it
this
came about.
your first exposure?
No,
to him?
not my first.
Okay,
But like, there's a little Vice article
Yeah,
about
yeah,
how it all came about
Yeah,
and
yeah.
obviously all that sort of stuff. And that is another kind of, I guess, subculture that has kind of, you know, it's got people talking about it in sometimes a derogatory way, sometimes a racist way, because, you know, a lot of the people that have come from overseas.
What about wokes?
Yeah, right, about wokes, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that, like, that's there's a lot of jokes and whatnot that people make about that, you know, that kind of person here in Australia. And it was just funny, man, because I mean that's something that's almost, you know, they've got this reputation where it's not just about bodybuilding and, you know, having your fucking shirt off at stereo and all that sort of shit. But, you know, these guys to an extent have just been really positive. You know, they're positive about body image and they want to look good. They want to, you know, want to fuck bitches, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's all positive.
Yeah.
But they've got this bad rep and people give them shit and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's died down a lot. Like that culture is not
yeah.
really any. It's not prevalent. Now.
It's not the
It is-
same.
It's there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. It's not as hectic as it was when we were going to festivals and we were going out and all that sort of stuff back in the day.
Muzzle culture.
Yeah. I'm just saying that it's kind of died off a little bit, but but that, I mean, it's probably a little
No
bit
one went to
different.
that funeral.
Yeah. But it's kind of, we're in a position now where that's another subject of people, I guess, you know, being maybe unfairly treated, you know, like I think in terms
Wokes?
of... Yeah, a lot of
What do
them.
you mean?
They love to be different, they love to be, you know,
Right.
whatever, but I think that it's not like kind of maybe as segregated or as harshly treated as other minorities, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know,
Cop it like anyone else.
Yeah,
they cop it like anyone else.
And,
Yeah.
and there's more jokes and whatnot, more
Yeah.
humour and more, you know, more
Yeah.
laughs about them,
Yeah.
and they take it in their stride. More,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of them like being as woggy
Right.
as they are. Like they
100%.
relish
They
in the
play
fact
it
that
up.
people
Yeah.
know.
They play it up.
they're
Yeah.
hectic.
They
How
embrace
funny,
it
though.
fully.
You got to stare at like short shorts.
Oh,
and
it's-
fake
it's
tan.
a laugh.
It's
a laugh.
It's super
great. Hilarious.
But they definitely embrace it and fly the flag for it more than other
Yeah.
groups.
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah, but we're just like, the reason we were kind of talking about this on Friday night, because when we went to the gig, how back in the day, if that gig was like 5-6 years ago, fuck, that whole dynamic of that crowd would have been different.
Totally different.
You know, it would have been so different. It would have been like, you know, blokes with their shirts off everywhere, fucking, you know, hectic cunts, like, you know, big
Massive
dudes
guys
there.
in juice.
But this crowd on Friday night, primarily Asian, obviously, because it's a trans band. But, you know, no problems, no issues, didn't see punch-ons, didn't see aggressiveness, didn't see anything like that. And it's funny how that evolves, you know, like it's just weird how it's a different crowd back then, same music, but now a little bit different. Or a lot different, actually.
Yeah, everything's getting better.
Everything's improving.
Everything's getting better, I reckon.
Yeah.
I feel as though it is.
I've subscribed to an email. Did you ever buy the 5-minute journal?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 5-minute journal, for anyone who doesn't know, is a gratitude journal. Basically, you start off your day with like 3 things that could go really well today, and in the end you write like 3 things that went really well, you're happy with, just sort of stuff like that. Just to try and shift the way your brain works. Anyway, they automatically subscribe you to this email that they send out, like a newsletter. And it's like resources for personal growth or positivity, like interesting YouTube clips or interesting articles. One of the things they've started doing at the end, they're like, this week's good news. And it's like, you know, a lot of it is to do with like, since it'll compare statistics from like 1940 to like 2018.
Yeah.
And it'll be like number of infant deaths down, you know, people who have access to clean drinking water.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
And like, it's just, when you look at the big picture,
Yeah.
right direction.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's really, but you need to look for it.
Yeah.
Because what you're fed is just...
It's just negative bullshit.
Yeah.
Be afraid, be scared, consume.
But the problem is, like, there's always going to be negatives, and there's always going to be sad things, and there's always going to be inequality, and there's always going to be always... You're never going to get this perfect utopia.
No, you need a balance to the force,
People
mate.
think that there's this fucking wonderful... Yeah, it's exactly right. But that's the... what I sent you guys the other day about the richest 400 people in America.
Yeah.
As much wealth as the poorest 150 million. That's
Where did
a
you-
fucked up
where
statistic.
did you get...
On a music video. Profits of Rage.
Profits of Rage,
Yeah. Because obviously, you know, they're still the primary members of Rage, except apart from Zach De La Rocca, the lead singer. But yeah, a lot of their music has always been super political.
Politically charged, yeah.
And obviously stemmed from the fact that, you know, they want to do the right thing by minorities and they want to get it out there. It's not that they can necessarily do anything about it, but they just want to make it known that, you know, there's a lot of fucked up shit that we can improve. And I think that's a really, really strong message, whether
100%.
whether it's hunger, famine, poverty, all of these big issues. Because we can improve it, and it's improving, but there's still really glaring holes in it, particularly.
Do you reckon it's more effective
America.
to go that route and be really vocal and protest and stuff like that? Or do you think it's more effective to work with the system and go, all right, how can we figure out a way to like...
It's both.
I think it's both, but they're using their platform as artists to do it.
Yeah.
And so they've got, it's like what we were talking about before,
True,
using
I suppose
that
their
microphone,
platform.
because they've got millions of followers still.
Yeah.
So it'd be like... like they would get the message out, here's what we think, and then their audience would be like, what can we actually
What can we do?
Yeah, they would...
That's how I reckon it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us your beef of the week. Oh, we've already done it
earlier.
We've already done it. Okay, we've already done it. We've
Fucking
already done it.
wave. If you're
Waivers.
at a roundabout
non-waivers.
and you let non-waivers, non-waivers, just click the unsubscribe button.
Have you got a...
Fuck off from this.
I don't want it even bother.
have you got a beef of the week?
The content.
Do I have a beef of the week? Do you?
I definitely
That's my beef of the week.
had. This is what I wrote down. This
What I wrote down,
my
we
beef of the
looked
week was just the writing or the way that they posed this information in a pedestrian TV article, where basically
Very specific.
this motherfucker had written this article about, you know, there being 2 murders or 3 murders that were potentially connected somewhere in Australia. I think it was Adelaide, right? And then the person that was writing the article has written, this is how they've signed off the first paragraph. We've got a serial killer on our hands, people. We've got a serial killer on our hands, people.
Right.
As if it's like a call to arms, like it's some weird...
Grab your torch.
Yeah, like
right.
like they're turning it into like a game, like it's a piece of
They're
entertainment.
taking the piss out of it.
Yeah, and like
But it's an actual murder.
and the whole
You know what that sounds like? It sounds
Articles.
like one of those things where you get together with all your friends and there's like you role play. It's like everyone has a role and it's like work out who the killer is and like we got a serial killer on our hands.
Pedestrian and notorious for their articles that are colourful and, you know, and they're worded cleverly and all that sort of shit.
But it was shit. It's
But
like
that's pretty average,
you're reporting on a group of people that have been murdered in some particular
And
fashion.
you're making light of it.
you know, and you're making light of it in some really lame fucking way. And I hated it. I just thought it was so childish, and I wrote it down. I wish I'd written down more of it. Who wrote it?
What was his name?
Courtney Fry. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Dick Courtney.
Courtney
Fry.
It's a shit name anyway.
Yeah, so that was my beef of the week.
Fair enough.
Just really, really
poorly done.
Poorly done articles with the wrong tone.
Yeah. Attention seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
Anything from your end that you hate?
Not particularly.
Good.
Wait.
Good. Fucking hate. So that's good
I
though.
was talking on something.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Had a good one.
Should we wrap it there?
I think
Sounds
that's good.
Yeah.
Happy days. Thanks for tuning in, kids.
Look at all the shit in front of you, my nigga. You still waiting on that alarm or what?
This is how we chill from 93 to.
From the 1-4.